Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Johnny Rodriguez. I'm with the Illinois Department of Revenue. I am one of the recruiters for the state of Illinois Department of Revenue. Today we have Mr. Israel Aceves from Central Management Services. I'm going to give a quick presentation and he'll be followed by his presentation. Please, if you do have any questions, please utilize the chat box. That's how we'll be able to answer those questions. So let us begin. The mission of the Illinois Department of Revenue is serving the state of Illinois taxpayers since 1927. We administer over 80 different taxes as of today. Currently, our Department of Revenue Director is Mr. Director Harris. He oversees a $240 million budget. He coordinates the collection of $7 billion in taxes. We make sure to properly collect and deposit all the correct funds for all of the state taxes that we collect from our taxpayers. And we make sure to coordinate with the Controller's Office to ensure tax refunds and state payments are made in a timely manner. A little bit about Illinois Department of Revenue. We're a very stable state agency. We have a little bit over 1,400 employees throughout the state of Illinois. We process more than 17 million paper and electric returns. As of 2022, we have collected a little over $69.6 billion. The photo on the screen, that is our headquarters down in Springfield. That is where we have a bulk of our positions. We have a little bit over 1,100 employees at that location. As I said, we do have 6 locations. Our headquarters is Springfield. That's where we have a bulk of our positions. The picture on the side here it is our Chicago location. We're at 555 West Monroe. That's where we have our second most positions. We have a little bit over 120 employees at that location. Then we have 4 other remote opportunities where people go to offices in Des Plaines, Rockford in the northern region, Fairview Heights in St. Clair County, that's close to St. Louis, and Marion, Illinois. The great thing about working for the state, we do have a 37 and a half hour work week. In the private sector, they work about 40 hours. We do about 37 and a half hours. Most of our schedules with Department of Revenue is Monday through Friday. We do have opportunities where we have to work on the weekends, but mostly it's Monday through Friday. Everybody coming to state employment, they start off with 10 vacation days for the first year. They earn up to 25 days annually once they get into about 20 years of, 15 to 20 years of service with the state. We do have 13 paid holidays through the state employment. Um, we have 2 more than the federal. We have Lincoln's birthday and Black Friday. We do have rollover vacation and sick time, a very flexible work schedule depending on department needs. There is opportunity to remote work. Most positions are in office due to the information that we have access to, but we have the opportunity to do a flex schedule where you might be able to work 4 days from the office, 1 day from home, or do 4-day work weeks. The great thing about working for the state, we do have parental leave for those who are new parents or want to adopt. You get up to 10 weeks paid vacation. Oh, actually, it's updated to 12 weeks now. It used to be 10 weeks. Previously, it is now it's updated to 12 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Israel. Some additional benefits we have for the state. We qualify for medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. There is no waiting periods. We do offer some pre-tax programs such as dependent care to help with child care costs, health savings program, which would take with you when you leave the state, and commuter savings programs. We also have a Be Well program, which is a statewide wellness program offered to all employees. It offers awareness articles, webinars, resources, and finance for health and fitness. Some additional benefits we have are accident insurance coverage, critical illness coverage, hospital indemnity, legal ease, identity theft protection, pet insurance, auto and home insurance, purchasing power, adoption benefits, and weight loss benefits. As a state government employee, you may be eligible for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. This program forgives the remaining balance of your direct loan after you have made 120 qualifying monthly payments under a qualifying rent repayment plan while working full time for a qualifying employer, which is the state of Illinois. Illinois Department of Revenue offers tuition reimbursement up to $5,000 per year for any school funded by the state of Illinois. Non-state funded, it's up to 3,500. We cover 80% of those non-state funded schools. There is some other opportunities with the state of Illinois, such as the Upper Mobility Program. Once, if you are part of a ASME bargaining agreement union employee, you'll be able to get into this title. This Department of Revenue has three titles under that Upper Mobility Program. These targeted titles are in need with the state, so we are constantly hiring people with those positions. Our revenue tax specialist training, revenue auditor training, collection officer training, and our special agent training are in that upper mobility program. Whenever those positions are available and somebody's within that program, they're able to go and receive their um, training and education to be able to meet the minimum qualifications for those programs. Uh, for those who are in the union, it's a great opportunity to kind of get into a new career field, especially if you went into something else. Let's say you went into healthcare, now you want to go into accounting. This program lets you get the training for the accounting and get into the revenue auditor training program per se. Our main webpage is tax.illinois.gov. Here, the link where it says about IDOR, you go to that link. It'll open up other links below. Make sure you go into our career opportunities tab. There, you'll be able to have our contact information and able to look at all our current job postings with Department of Revenue. Uh, as you see, it has a few links to job postings. You sign up for job alerts. Uh, it is greatly appreciated for people to sign up for the job alerts. Why? Because that's where you're able to receive information when opportunities become available. Our opportunities are posted on the work.illinois.gov website, but they're only posted anywhere between 10 to 15 business days. So if you don't apply within that 10 to 15 business days, then you won't be able to apply for that position. So we tell people to please just sign up for the job alerts to be able to apply for when those positions are available. We do have some videos, some other resources in case you are willing to move to our headquarters area down in Springfield. Um, at this point, we're giving up to $1,500 for anybody to move to the Springfield area for your moving expenses. With those, anybody who lives within 75 miles away from Springfield, you'll be able to meet for those requirements. You do have to get into one of those training titles, our revenue auditor training, revenue tax specialist training, and our collection officer training. We do also have a veterans outreach program. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to us and we'll be able to assist you with those. When you go on the work.illinois.gov website, this is where you'll see our postings. So it shows our agency, Department of Revenue, and I'll show our current job postings. As of today, we do have about 6 job postings posted out of our Springfield location. Here in the Chicago area, we are looking for a manager position. It's for our motor tax vehicle department. So we're going to have Mr. Israel talk about other positions with the state, specifically with Central Management Services. I'm going to provide him with access to that. Hello, Israel. Can you hear us?
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
All right, perfect. And then are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. We see your screen.
All right. So my name is Israel. I work for CMS, the Department of Central Management Services. Today I'm just going to go over our hiring process and just explain a little bit of of our procedures since we have gone through many changes, as many of you might know. This will apply for current employees and just anyone who might be interested in working for the state of Illinois. So again, my name is Israel. I work for the Department of Career Services. Formerly, we were the assessment center where we administered testing and counseling. And I've been with the state for 9 years now. Okay. All right. So my presentation has similar content to what Johnny presented, and he did a fantastic job explaining what the state has to offer. Similar to the Department of Revenue, uh, the same benefits also apply to CMS and to the majority of the positions that are under a union. So as he covered already, we have great benefits. We have employee assistant programs, deferred compensation. We have the upward mobility program, which is a fantastic way of promoting from within. If you guys need a little bit more information on that program, I will have a little more information a little later today. Uh, let's see. And the Veterans Outreach Program. So we still do offer veterans preference. I know there was a little bit of miscommunication as to preference, but we still do honor veterans preference. We have a great program that we enable our veterans to obtain points for the years of service and the type of service that they provided to our country. If you guys need any more information on this, to the right of the screen, there's a phone number on there, and there's also an email. And our team members of who handle the veterans program are very responsive. So they'll get to you if you have any questions, if you're having any issues. The number is 217-524-1313. They typically respond within the same day, letting you know what's needed or what the requirements are to qualify for this program. All right, and the disabled workers trainee program is another area that we have. So for this program, we actually offer individuals accommodation, whether it's for individuals who are trying to onboard with the state. We offer accommodations such as extra time when they're testing, extra time when they're going to interview. We even go as far as if they need help reading a question, we're there to provide any type of assistance. We do, however, require proof of their disability, and it does have to come from a certified physician. So that's another program that the state has to offer, and it's very beneficial for anyone who might be in need. Um, More information on that to the right, how to enroll. It does say the CMS 100, but um, we don't use that form any longer. Pretty much everything that we do now is electronic. So all you would have to do is send an email to the cms.disability, um, and it's right to the right of the screen. And then again, all we need is documentation, and it's pretty straightforward on how to enroll to this program. All right, and now to our website. So it says on there work.illinois.gov, which will take you directly to our website. Additionally, you could access the website by going to illinois.jobs2web.com, which will take you directly to the same website. Um, and then this is where all of our postings will be, including the IDOR postings. Some career opportunities that we have to offer, um, more in demand, but we have a pretty wide variety of positions that we have to offer with the state, some of which aren't listed on there. But the ones that are, these are more in high demand, like nursing, veterans, accounting, social services, IT jobs are in high demand right now, especially in Springfield with the Department of Do It. Social services, property management, which is not listed on there, those are in pretty high demand, especially with a lot of the workforce getting ready to retire. If not, the positions might already be vacant in many areas, especially in bigger cities like Springfield and Chicago, of course. So a service that we have to offer, I do stress this a lot for individuals who are not current state employees, um, even for current state employees who are seeking a little bit of guidance on what to do and how to navigate the state. So basically, we review your qualifications. You send us a resume, and we find the most compatible positions that might fit your experience and your background. And the best way of doing this would be to send us an email and again attach your resume. We no longer need the CMS 100, so you would just attach your resume and send it to cms.counseling by email at illinois.gov. We do also offer virtual counseling, but beforehand we do like to screen the applicants and make sure we're ready for you guys when we're gonna administer the career counseling. So if you do want to conduct a virtual counseling, we do offer that as well. Counseling by email, honestly, we haven't done one of those in many years, but if you're comfortable with doing it by mail, and that's USPS or UPS, you're more than welcome to as well. Basically, you would just mail in your resume, we review it, and we mail all the correspondence back. But again, nobody really uses that option any longer. So uh, in this screen, we have our class search screen, as you can see. Basically, what this will enable you to do is you can find any position within the state and type it in, and it'll show you um, everything from the salary to the duties and all the requirements that are needed for an individual to get assistance in this position and see how what the requirements are to obtain the position. In this case, I think I saw a hand up. Did someone have a question before I go a little too fast?
Yeah, they're asking questions on the chat box. We're
Oh,
answering them if they have any.
okay,
If there's
awesome.
something I will ask you this directly.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so I'll proceed. Um, So in this case, we use the office associate as an example. And the reason we use the office associate is because this position is actually used by multiple agencies throughout the state. DCFS uses them, which is the Department of Child and Family Services, HFS, which is the Department of Healthcare and Family Services. There's just many agencies that utilize this position, which is why we decided to demonstrate this position. It is more of an entry level position, clerical. Um, and again, it is a high demand position which does become available throughout the state. This position is available in smaller cities and again throughout the entire state. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is just an example of, again, the office associate. It shows you the title code up top, which is a way for us to identify this position. It'll show you the salary range. If you are entry level, this is a merit composition. Typically, um, individuals do tend to start off at step one. Now, this would not apply to state employees. There would be some type of um, wiggle room to negotiate, especially if you're already in, let's say, step three or four. They're not going to bring you back to step one. So there is some leeway there. Um, all right, moving along. So we're still on the office associate. Again, it'll demonstrate here the features of work. It'll explain the type of work that's entailed in the with this position. It does tend to vary by agency, very minimal, but it does vary by agency because they do have different duties assigned to this position. And in this case, it'll show general examples of the type of work that you would be doing. All right, and then so in this screen it shows you the requirements that are needed for this position. So as long as you meet the minimum qualifications, you would become a qualified candidate. And as you can see here, it shows what the requirements are. As long as you have a high school diploma and 2 years of experience in an office setting, um, you are qualified for this position. Now, if you have some of the preferred qualifications, that would only make you more of a standout, so your chances would increase, especially with a position with many applicants. Okay. All right. So this is just a screenshot of our homepage. You are allowed to search. You have the ability to search by location, by city, by job posting, by county, by title. So there are many ways that you can narrow your search to find the specific position that you might be interested in, especially if you already know what you're interested in and what you're looking for. Here's another way that you can look at positions. It's actually this screenshot is a little old. So um, when we made this presentation at the moment, there was 39 positions in the Champaign area, 202 in the Springfield area, and as you can see, it demonstrates the current job postings and vacancies that were available per geographical area. You can also narrow the search a little more, and you have the ability of again, finding a position specifically in an area that you might be interested in. For example, social services. You click that, and it'll take you strictly to positions that are in the social services field, technology, transportation, and so on. So these are just keys that we factored in to make the experience of finding a position a little more less cumbersome and more straightforward. So in order to apply for any of our positions, you do have to create an account, which is pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. But if you are a state employee, there is a different website that you would have to apply to. It's called Okta, which can also be found within our website. So on this screen, top left, where it says click here for the career portal for state employees. If you're a current state employee, that's where you would click and it would take you directly to Okta. And then to the right where it says view profile, top right, if you're not a state employee and you're in the process of applying, you have not created an account yet, that's where you would click, and then that's where you would be able to create an account if you don't already have one. This just demonstrates the fields, how it would look like when you're creating an account. You type in your email address, password, and general information. All right, so a little more information on the candidate profile. So once you've created a candidate profile, you'll receive an email with this information. It's pretty much just general information letting you know that the process can be lengthy at times, especially for positions that receive many applications, many applicants. You could be looking at a minimum of 3 months now. Um, I wouldn't swear by this because we do have many exceptions to this. There are times where we receive orders directly from the government, from the governor, I'm sorry, to make a certain position priority, especially in areas that have a higher need. So this does not always apply, especially if we receive a directive. So I have seen positions be filled within 30 days. So there are many factors that have to be taken into consideration, but overall, for the majority of the positions, you would be looking at about 3 months or so. And then this just this demonstrates how once you create a profile, it'll show you can save your documents, you can save your applications if you didn't complete them because they can be a little lengthy. It'll also show applications that you have filled out already, positions that you applied for, education, skills, experience. You can save your transcripts, diplomas, anything that you might have, even your resume. All right. So for every position that a person applies to, I do tend to encourage them to kind of modify their cover letter for per position because they're not going to be the same. The resume can stay the same, just make sure it's updated. But for as far as the cover letter, I would tend to tweak it a little bit to make it suitable for that position that you're currently applying to. And this just demonstrates where you would attach the cover letter, upload the resume. You could even add additional documents if you have any certifications, anything that you feel like would make you stand out and make you a better candidate. I would include it. This is just a screenshot demonstrating basically your general information that you would put in. All right. And then this screen demonstrates an individual who applied for the security therapy aid, and then saved applications. They were also applying for the office associate. Under saved applications, if you see applications that are on there, those have not been submitted, so those technically do not count until you actually hit submit. Just make sure you submit it prior to the closing date, otherwise the application will not count. All right, and then this is a screenshot showing uh, what it would look like when you enter your previous employment information, your education, and just the more information you provide overall, um, just the better overall. Okay. Job alerts. This is another area that we tend to stress a lot to newer folks who aren't familiar with our process. Our website is updated on a daily basis, and if you have a position in mind that's not currently posted, but your area that you're interested in and you know the position that you want, you can actually create a job alert. And I'll explain a little more information on this as we go along. So to create a job alert, it'll bring you to a screen similar to this. It's very straightforward, but if anyone needs help, feel free to email our counseling by email and we'll reply as soon as possible. So you can create a job alert. You can actually create multiple job alerts, and there are different job alerts that you can create. For example, you can create a job alert by location. As you can see here to the right, this individual created a job alert based on location. You can also create a job alert based on a job title. If you want to be a CO here, for example, if you want to be a correctional officer trainee, you would type that title in, and you can also save it by that. So yeah, you can have multiple job alerts, and then you would receive an email when the position is posted or when positions are posted by location, you would receive a notification via email. And then this just demonstrates that the job alert was created successfully. In this case, the individual is going to receive notifications every time a position is posted in this location. All right, so this just demonstrates a little more information on a specific job. Top left, it says corrections, law library assistant. This is just a general overview of what all the positions would have this information. It just provides a general spiel on what on our accommodations and our requirements of employment. Okay, so when applying to a position, what we look for when individuals are applying and they want an update, for example, a way that we use to look up jobs is the requisition ID. So I would encourage you to jot that number down whenever you're applying for any position. If we don't have that, it would be extremely difficult for us to find any information on your application, on the status. So again, the job rec ID, very important. So in this case, it's 21987. That number alone would enable us to, type it in and kind of see where you are in the process. That's important information. And then in this case, it just demonstrates a job posting. It shows the expected salary, the location, the number of vacancies, and the bargaining unit it belongs to. For this position, again, it shows the minimum qualifications. As long as you meet those, you are a qualified candidate. Moving along to the preferred qualifications, the more you have, it would only make you a better candidate. So again, the more information you provide, the better the outcome. Another helpful tip that we tend to offer is for every position, there is an agency contact listed. We do recommend to write that information down because typically that should be your first go-to in case you might have any questions on that specific job posting. Um, if you want an update, that's typically who we tend to refer them to. Now, if feel free to reach out to CMS as well, of course, because we can obtain the same information, but this would only make things a little easier when you're seeking information on this specific job that you applied to. So we have received information that sometimes individuals they do receive updates, but the updates tend to go to their spam box. So just keep that in mind when you apply. You can, even if we send you a notification, they you may receive it in your spam box. So just keep that in mind after you apply, and it'll show you here how what our email address would be. The do not reply systems. So it shows you several different ways. So yeah, just keep that in mind as to look through your spam box in case you haven't received anything in quite a while. Career counseling, we already went over this a little bit. Again, we can't stress it enough. If anyone needs any type of assistance um, with their job search or just has a question in particular to any position that they may have questions on, they can email us and we're very responsive to all the emails that we receive. We have counselors throughout the state, and we all have access to this mailbox. Again, it's cms.counseling-by-email@illinois.gov. We have assessment centers throughout the state. We're now known as Career Services. Our main office is in Springfield. That's where we have the most computers and just the biggest testing center that we have. We have one in Champaign, Chicago, Marion, Rockford, and again, Springfield. A brief recap of our application process. You create a candidate profile, set up job alerts if applicable, if the position is not already listed. If it is, you would apply directly to it. Career counseling, this step can be taken at any step of the way, even before you create a candidate profile. Um, So just whenever you feel ready to do the career counseling, just shoot us an email. We'll respond to it. Afterwards, once you apply, once you've submitted your application, you receive a grade notice. The selected individual would be contacted for an interview, and you accept or decline. Pretty straightforward. Um, on the front end, on the back end, not so much. There's many variables that go into that. And then I'm just going to share a brief video. It's only 30 seconds, so we are promoting our brand. As you can see, we are pushing to have our recognition in the social media platforms and make ourselves known. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So that's what we're aiming to. If anyone has any questions or
Yeah, so Israel,
comments.
there's a few questions. So, as far as the transcripts, does it have to be official or could it be unofficial transcripts?
So we do recommend for individuals to provide official transcripts. It only makes it easier, especially on the verification side of things, because if you provide copies, then we would it would only prolong the process because we have to then reach out to the college or university to verify all that information. But we do accept copies as well. But with how lengthy our process is, we always recommend just if you have the ability of providing the actual official transcripts, it only makes it easier. And then you could save them on your profile as well. Save the original transcripts and just keep the hard copy, because once you create your profile, you have the ability of uploading the official transcripts on there.
And once they create a profile, they're able to utilize the resume and transcripts for all other applications, correct?
Yes, correct.
Also, we had a question regarding as far as the career counseling, is it between 48 to 72 hours before they receive an email to let them know about career counseling?
Yeah, that's typically our response rate as of right now because we've we're a little shorthand on staff because we had a few promotions, but we are looking at about 3 to 5 days for us to reach out to individuals for career counseling.
Okay. Now they are asking, do all positions require state testing?
No, actually, a lot of our positions no longer require testing. What we do now is what we call TRAX, where we grade you based on training and experience. So testing is actually minimal now. Um, if there is a test required, what we do is we actually contact the individuals once they've submitted their application, and we provide them with a 2-week window. So they'll receive ample notification and there's flexibility on when to take the test. But again, for the majority of the positions, they no longer require testing.
Now, on the career counseling, when they receive career counseling, do you guys provide suggestions for resume updates?
N- Not on the resumes. We don't go on that area. What we do with the career counseling is we review their resume or whatever they might provide us. Some individuals tend to send their diplomas and things of that nature, but just make sure to provide the resume. And then what we do is we review the resume, and then we actually we find jobs that are most compatible with their experience that they already have and their educational background. So we actually provide the link to positions that we feel like they would be a good candidate for.
Now, for those who formerly have worked for the state of Illinois, they do have to go through the work.illinois.gov website to apply, correct? There's no other um, ways for them to apply?
Correct, yeah. For state employees,
No, 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 former state employees. So they previously worked for the state. They still have to go through the work.illinois.gov website.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Now,
they would eventually be reinstated, but they would have to go through they wouldn't go through through Okta because they're likely their email address is no longer active.
okay. And then everybody's required to create a profile on work.illinois.gov to apply for all positions for the state, correct?
Yes, yep. We no longer use the CMS 100, which um, we use that for who knows for how many years, but over 20, maybe even 30, we've had those things around. And then this is just meant to streamline the process. You know, those paper applications were pretty tedious where you had to fill one out for every position, and there were about 14 pages, and we had to go through each and every one of them. So um, yeah, with this electronic process that we have, it's moving things a lot faster than they did before.
Great. So I will put the link for work.illinois.gov. It's an updated link, but if you type work.illinois.gov, it'll redirect you to this link. So anybody interested in setting up a profile, you must go to this link, and that's where you upload your resume, upload your transcripts, cover letter, any other information that they should be able to attach to this application that you suggest, Israel.
So just the career services email, the career counseling, I could type that in there just in case. Not only do individuals have to just request counseling, they can actually also, if they have any questions, we can also answer those if they send it to CMS.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Um,
I've shared that email. No, my question was more specific to the work.illinois.gov website as far as the application process. Like, are they able to utilize the website for all positions in case they so like if there is a posting for two HR reps and there's two posting, they must apply to both positions, correct? They
yeah,
wouldn't be just
yes, yeah. Even so, yeah, that's actually a very good point that you bring up, Johnny. So there are times where a person might, like you said, might apply for the same position. We actually provide a grade for, let's say they apply for a position and they get an A grade or a 90, I should say, because we use numerical scores now. So if they receive a 90, which is the highest grade a person can receive, um, even though they already have that score of a 90, it wouldn't apply to any other position. It's just for that specific job posting. So yes, they do have to apply for every position, even if it's the same job title. As long as it has a different requisition number, it's treated as a different job, as a different job posting.
And as far as training titles, with the revenue tax specialist training titles, we will be having some being posted. Is there any other training titles on some of the other agencies that you might have knowledge of as of today?
Yeah, so one that actually I believe it's still posted is the child support specialist trainee. They have it. I know they have one posted in Champaign County and Chicago and Springfield also, if I'm not mistaken. It was a couple days ago, but they are only posted for about 2 weeks. So you would have to apply it before they come down. But that is another position that is in high demand, and pretty much the only requirement they have for that is a bachelor's. Um, they're pretty they tend to accept that as long as you have a bachelor's, they don't really, they're not really looking for a specific major or minor for this trainee position. As long as you have a bachelor's, or if you don't have the educational background, they then they also accept experience, but it would have to be directly correlated with that specific area. So in child support.
So they are asking about remote positions. I know it's all depending on department needs, and somebody asked if they live over an hour away from the location listed, are they remote opportunities? As with Department of Revenue, we don't have that opportunity. I'm not sure if there's other agencies that do have that. Israel, is there any other agencies that have those opportunities?
So currently with CMS, so the majority of our positions are are hybrid. Like for myself, we do 3 in office and 2 remote. Um, but again, it is subject to agency need, and it's not permanent. So at any given point, we could be told to go back to the office. So these are things that are typically discussed when you are offered a position. We also do have the HRT, which is the hiring resource team for CMS, where they are currently 5 days remote. So it just varies. Unfortunately, it's not going to be listed on there on the job posting, but what I would encourage people to do is to send an email or even call the person that's listed on the agency contact if they find a position they're interested in and they want to know, if they're hybrid, if they're remote at all. That would be a good avenue to take is to obtain a little more information from the agency contact listed on the job posting.
Does anybody else have any questions? I am sharing my screen. These are current job openings with the Illinois Department of Revenue. We just have a new opening here in Chicago as an account technician. When you open the posting, as Israel said, look at the date when the posting was posted. Make sure to look at the closing date. You must apply for this position by October 16, 11:59. At 12 a.m. on October 17, that posting will be closed and you won't be able to apply for that position. So make sure you keep that in mind whenever you're looking for these positions. It'll give you the salary range for this position. As far as salary range, are they able to negotiate coming from the outside, Israel?
So, so if it's you can always bring it up, but honestly, for positions for within the union, the majority, not always, but for the majority of the times, they do tend to start off um, at the bottom of the pay scale. Now, this is not always the case. You know, if you have an individual that has proven years of experience and um, exceeds the qualifications, of course they're gonna take that into consideration and also compensate adequately. So yeah, it's not there is some wiggle room with those numbers.
Now, as far as for those who apply for a position, how soon after will they receive an email letting them know about their score?
So that also varies because they are graded by an actual human. It's not it's diverted to caseloads. So at the bare minimum, you would be looking at 2 weeks roughly, up to 3 months to receive a grade.
Now, in order to work for the state of Illinois, it requires you to have access to work for the U.S. So meaning you're a resident alien, you have a working visa, and you're a U.S. citizen, correct?
Correct. Yeah, as long as you don't require any type of sponsorship, and you have the documentation, uh, you can work for the state of Illinois.
And then they don't need to meet with a counselor to receive a score, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the counselor services that we offer is just for individuals who might not know how to navigate the whole hiring process. But if you have people who've already applied, they might not need so much assistance. But we're here for even if you're proficient or not proficient, we're here to answer any questions.
They're asking about vaccination. Is vaccination required on all agencies, or is just also, once again, depending on the department?
So that varies by department. I would have to verify that information, but if I'm not mistaken, currently the only one that requires that, again, I would have to verify, but the only one I know of that does require that or did require that was the Department of Corrections.
Another position we have posted in the Chicagoland area, it's a vehicle U.S. tax manager. This position will close on October the 10th. If we have anybody who's interested in this position, please go to the work.illinois.gov website and look for this position. You're able to look by requisition ID, the 31168, or you're able to look at by the name of the posting, Motor Vehicle U.S. Tax Manager, Public Service Administrator. Now, as far as for those public service administrator positions that are not in the union, um, is there a different process that they have to go through as far as the resume and application?
So all the application process is the same. Now this one is treated a little differently as far as when it comes to negotiating. That's for any PSA position and SPSA position that's not in the union. There's way more wiggle room to negotiate in these management positions. But the process, the application process is the same.
Okay, so as long as people applying for the position, they have to apply during the job posting opening and when it closes. As the job posting closes, they will receive a score, and it could take up to 3 months to receive a score. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. As far as receiving assistance with a resume, do you guys provide any assistance with the resume?
Unfortunately, not with the resumes. We do review them though, but what our services provide is just to recommend the actual positions that are out there based on the information that's provided to us from the applicants.
So we don't have too many more questions. The call will end in about 5 minutes. I'd like to thank you, Israel, for being part of this presentation today. We will continue working together. Uh, I did put in the email address for career counseling. If anybody has any additional questions, please reach out to us. We will be following up via an email with a copy of the presentation. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us via email. Thank you for coming out today and giving us your time. You guys have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank,
Jenny. Thank you,
thank you.
everyone. Thanks.
Thanks.